Okay, so welcome to week 3. Yay! You've got one more week and then this course is complete. But I have to admit something. This is probably my most favorite week in this course. Why? Well, because it's all about problem solving. You've already learned about the resonant leader and the dissonant leader, isn't it? Well, now I'm going to talk a little bit about problem solving and how a think leader arrives at not only measuring the results, but actually getting to the results. Now, this week's going to be kind of short. There's not a lot of modules in this part of the course, but there's a lot of reading. And there are a lot of videos, some of which are almost an hour, but they are crucial for your understanding. I enjoy always incorporating other experts, maybe even in the same genre as mine, in my courses. Why? Well, it's great to have a blend, a balance. And even some, not necessarily contradictions, but counter maybe effects to give you more to think about, to put you in a position where you're kind of going, you know what I mean? And it's lovely when you take a course and it provides you not one opinion, not one concept, but maybe 2 or 3. This is always going to equate to balance. Now, let me get right into what this course is all about. It's all about problem solving, the best ways to create solutions as well as good measures and resolutions to situations that occur in the workplace. You are a thinking leader, isn't it? So I think you're going to find this part not only fun, but very, very interesting. This part of the course I'm calling 5 Whys Technique. Now, I didn't say wives, W-I-V-E-S. I said whys, W-H-Y''S. The 5 Whys Technique. What in the world? Well, when I lived in Japan some years ago, I learned about Sakaki Toyota. I used to be able to speak Japanese much better than I am right now, but I learned about him and his 5 Whys Technique that originated back in the 1930s, long before I was born, and you too, I would imagine. Anyway, it was a technique used to get to the bottom of a problem and not just get to the bottom of a problem and find a symptom for that problem. In other words, the 5 Whys Technique, it really does 2 things. 2 things. It offers countermeasures, which seeks to create an action that presents a great solution, if you will. And through that creation of a great solution, it prevents that problem from reoccurring. However, the other side of it is solutions. Solutions, according to the 5 Whys theory, only help to get to a symptom. It only helps you arrive to the symptom and, shall we say, fix a symptom. If you go to a doctor's office today, tomorrow, next month, next year, and they find a lump somewhere in your body, male or female, what you want is not only a diagnosis, but a prognosis. Both are very different, both coming from one doctor or several who are treating you for that lump that was found in your body. The point that I'm making is that they don't tend, when something is that serious, they don't tend to just treat the symptom. They tend to want to get to the root cause. They want to be able to measure the root cause of that lump in your body. 5 Whys technique is just like that. You ask the question why 5 times until you come to the root cause. Now I'm going to give you an example. Remember when your children were a certain age, let's say between when they started to learn to talk. And the first word a lot of kids learn at 2 and 3 is why. Mommy, why does the sun shine real bright? Why does water come out of that thing? Why does Daddy comb his hair that way? You remember that? Now, maybe you don't have children, but you've been around small kids in that age genre long enough to know that the why syndrome with children between 2 and 4, it can drive you mad. But be that as it may, it can also be very cute. What's happening is a form of discovery. And that child in that moment trying to get to the root cause of why the sun shines so bright like that. But that's not my demonstration or example for this part of the course. Every department has an IT, doesn't it? Every company has an IT, I should say. Let's say the IT department creates and comes up with software that tracks expenses. Everybody that's in sales, in the sales department, including the sales manager, everybody gets trained on this new software, on how to track expenses. Maybe the expenditures are way over budget, and you, the leader, maybe the founder, the owner, the CEO, the high-profile boss, wants the IT department to come up with this new tracking device so that you can discover the root cause of why the sales department is consistently and continually way out of budget. Well, the first way to use the 5 Whys technique in this instance is to ask why, because you've noticed no one in sales is using the software. The answer that comes is nobody likes it. Well, why don't you like it? Because it asks for things that we don't have. Why don't you have the things that the tracking device is requiring? Well, I do have what it's requiring, which is receipts, but I don't have printed on the receipts what the tracking device is looking for. The tracking device is looking for the specific product that was purchased with the company credit card. Now, in that instance, you got to the root cause of the problem before you got to the 5th why. And this can be quite easily done depending on the problem. When it's a lot more complicated, that 5 whys may continue for quite a bit of time until you get to the root cause. Once again, countermeasures is seeking to measure the actions that are being taken to come up with an accurate measure, wherein solutions is only looking to figure out and provide a symptom. Make sense? Voila. So with the 5 whys, there's several ways that you can come to a way to figure out how you're going to get to the measured cause, the cause of it. Because you see, when you are trying to get to the cause and measure the cause, what you're doing is preventing reoccurrence. And who doesn't want that? As a leader, as a boss, as a supervisor, anybody in control of a department, you are looking to get to the root cause. You don't want it to keep recurring, creating a bigger mess than the last one or the previous one before that. So there are 3 ways that the 5 whys are highly effective. Number 1, problem solving. Number 2, quality improvement. And then number 3, problems that can be troubleshoot. You want to troubleshoot, in other words, prevent a problem from happening before the problem happens. So those are 3 areas. Again, troubleshooting, problem solving, and quality management or quality improvement. As we look deeper into the 5 whys, I want you to think back on a problem that happened in your department. I want you to write out how you measured the root cause of that problem. What did you do specifically that gave you the rock bottom line as to the cause of that problem? Did you seek only without to know that you were getting at the root cause, or were you intending to just find the symptom? You see, just finding the symptom is not going to keep it from reoccurring. Anybody can, let's say you got a tooth, a rotten one, a cavity on top of that. It's hurting you like crazy. So you go to a dentist, but you don't want the tooth pulled because you've had a lot of teeth pulled. You need to hold on the few teeth that you have, right? Well, the dentist then fills the hole in the cavity. He puts a filling in it. She puts a filling in it. What are they doing? They're only filling the symptom. They're only addressing the symptoms. The symptoms is coming from a rotten tooth that is decayed. So to deal with the symptoms, all they're doing is putting a filling in there, which is clearly going to shut down the nerve from being exposed to hot drinks, cold drinks, ice cream, sensitive things to that cavity. And certainly it's going to prevent air from creating bacteria and causing more pain. So all that dentist has done when they filled that cavity was treat the symptom. The root cause was the cavity. Really, when you go deeper, and as they say, do a deep dive, the root cause, my sweetie, that was the nerve. The nerve was exposed. Now, in order to properly keep that tooth, all that dentist should have done was a root canal. Leave the tooth in, but take the nerve out. This essentially is really getting to the root cause of it, isn't it? It's taking the nerve out, which is causing the excruciating pain. So extrapolating that nerve now means they got to the root cause of all the pain that was creating pain the moment you drank water, same if it was tap water. But now that the nerve has been removed, all you have is an empty shell of a tooth. They can fill that and you can go on with life as normal. Voila.